This is Justified by Jury, and in my previous episodes of the Unfortunate Demise series, I detailed tragic accidents that some feel may have been intentional. But in Chapter 3, we will detail a young starlet by the name of Simone Battle, whose life was intentionally cut short, though some still speculate today whether it was by her own hand or the hands of someone else. Her death didn't receive much coverage, and her legacy is somewhat complicated, as many are puzzled as to the rhyme or reason behind her demise, and there's still so many unanswered questions. But we will dive deep into what is known. If there are any other artists you'd like to see covered in the Unfortunate Demise series, please leave your suggestions in the comments below. Let's get started. Simone Charisse Battle was born on June 17, 1989 in Los Angeles as the middle child of 3 children to Anthony Battle and Donna Morgan. Growing up, she knew she was destined for greatness in the spotlight. She was a triple threat, as she could sing, dance, and act, and being in LA, there was ample opportunity to showcase her talents. As a child, she sang in the children's choir at church and appeared in a few television commercials. As a teen, she would make a few background appearances in shows like Everybody Hates Chris and Zoe 101. She also studied ballet and tap dancing, and upon graduating high school, she interned with a company that worked alongside the Black Eyed Peas. After an audition and recognizing her talents, the group would hire her as a background dancer, and she would tour with the group, making several appearances, including one at the Europe Music Awards in 2007. And in 2008, she would score an opportunity to appear as the lead character in Mary Mary's music video for the song Get Up, which would be the first time that I would learn of Simone Battle.
Hi, I'm Simone Battle.
Can you tell us what you're doing today?
I'm playing the lead girl in the Mary Mary music video. I am at the audition, and I'm auditioning for, I guess, a dance school, a dance company, and I'm just giving the judges my all, and I'm inspired, and I'm just having fun and enjoying myself with my dance.
Ironically, her character in the video would audition for a few judges, and after a little nervousness and initial hesitation on her part, she would release her fears and her star power would win them over, which is an occurrence that would happen repeatedly throughout Simone's lifetime. Though her acting and dancing skills earned her some shine, she was equally passionate about music, and she studied music industry and songwriting at the University of Southern California, learning the business side of the industry as well. In 2010, she would make appearances as the love interest in both the Teach Me How to Dougie music video alongside rapper JR of the group Cali Swag District, and in the video for the song Text by Man, which featured Jason Derulo. By now, her face was starting to become more recognized in popular media, but not necessarily for the reasons she had hoped. You see, she drew comparisons to Keke Palmer, to the point where she would often be mistaken for the young actress by fans, in public, and even other celebrities at events. This happens quite a lot in black media, where a celebrity becomes known more for their resemblance to another than their actual work itself. Simone started to become known as that girl who looks like Keke, but isn't Keke. She was ready to firmly establish herself in music and would audition on The X Factor in 2011.
Than the other contestants because I'm fierce. How you doing? I'm special. They love me. Hi, Poppy. How you doing?
Now, in my previous episode on Leah LaBelle, during her American Idol journey, Simon, who's known for being the villain of sorts on these judge shows, wasn't the biggest fan of hers.
Stay in Hollywood.
You are very lucky you have Paula and Randy on this panel, because I don't like your voice.
I don't agree with you, so maybe he says that stuff to see how well you can handle yourself.
However, when Simon saw Simone live, he would sing her praises, while it was L.A. Reid who would be the most critical.
You really are fearless. I think that you are ambitious, which I love.
Thank you.
I think you're going to work hard. I think you'd be fun to watch as a performer. I really, really like you.
I enjoyed it. I think that you've got potential.
I'm gonna completely disagree. I was underwhelmed. I didn't want to sing along, I didn't want to dance.
You are fierce. I say yes.
Simone would make it through to boot camp and would be mentored by Simon after making it to the final 32 female finalists to make it through to the judges' houses, and would advance to the top 17 before being eliminated. In all, she would sing Help by the Beatles, Your Song by Elton John, Just Be Good to Me by the SOS Band, and When I Grow Up by the Pussycat Dolls, which would set her up for even more success, but more on that later. In the meantime, she used her buzz from her time on The Voice to film a few music videos, one being He Likes Boys, which became somewhat of a viral hit amongst teens in the LGBT community, and a few other songs which were covers like Drake's Take Care and Nicki Minaj's Starships, both of which are probably her best showcasing of her vocal talents.
It's my birthday, I get high if I want to. Can't deny it, I want you, but I lie if I have to. Cause you don't say you love me to your friends when they ask you, even though we both know that you do.
By 2012, she had decided to revisit acting and would appear in the short film Metamorphosis as Olivia. But it would be her leading role as Cheyenne Davis in the film We the Party that would solidify her as an actress. The teen drama comedy film focuses on high school kids navigating romance, money, prom, college scholarships, intimacy, bullies, and social media. It was integral for the youth at that time and had a multi-ethnic cast. The film was written by, produced by, and featured Mario Van Peebles and his son, Moises Arias, Debo from Friday, Snoop D-O-double-G, YG, and Quincy. It would be Simone's first and only feature in a full-length film and would be her best showcasing of her acting talents. The film also featured her mother. It was released in theaters in April of 2012 and by December had made its way on BET, receiving much airplay in reruns, getting more of the youth familiar with her as an actress. But still, singing was where her heart truly was. Not only would she be singing with her guitar on set of the film during breaks for some of the staff, but she would record a few songs for the film and even sang one of them called More Than Just a Friend. She would also perform some of her original songs live at small venues, like We Came to Party, which was a fan favorite at her shows. Little did she know, all of her hard work in trying to be seen would pay off big time when she got the golden opportunity to join a new girl group called GRL. Dancer and famous choreographer Robin Antin founded the Pussycat Dolls franchise in the mid-2000s, and it comprised of many girl groups like Paradiso Girls and Girlicious. But by the early 2010s, their biggest act, the Pussycat Dolls, had phased out, and Robin was looking to rebrand the group as a brand new quintet with new faces and a new name. She wanted this group to consist of women from different countries to bring different cultural elements to the union. They began with Lauren Bennett, who was British, Natasha and Paula, who were American, and Emmeline Estrada, who was Canadian. They also wanted to add some R&B flavor to the mix. And after coming across Simone's audition, where she had sang When I Grow Up by the Pussycat Dolls, Robin knew that she struck gold and sought out Simone personally to join the group.
It's Simone from X Factor.
X Factor.
They saw me there.
I was there.
And Lauren from Emmeline on YouTube. Which is, it was like when you pour little drops of oil into a bowl of water and then gradually they migrate together to form one blob of oil.
And the bottles for analogies.
Yeah. Yesterday was cake, I guess today now it's oil.
Is that we've all five come from, you know, our own individual struggles in the industry, and so finally being here and having this opportunity to really live our dreams, like we don't have time for catting.
And you guys can kind of lean on each other as you have a hard time or whatever. But if I was to throw reality cameras on you guys,
it would be the best show.
You want to create something, our management would not allow it.
Finally, Simone got the big break she was hoping for, with the love from her family and support from her boyfriend Johnson, and good vibes from her brand new group members, the only way from here was up. The group officially formed in February of 2013 and would endure intense, grueling 8-hour sessions of artist development daily. Robin Antin didn't play. She was known to work all of her artists to the bone to ensure perfection, but each of the members of this group had previous success in either singing or dancing, so they were all well equipped for the challenge. They got their name from taking the I out of girl.
We don't need the I, we're not focused on the I. We're all individuals, but you know, we're a team and we come together as GRL, so we're not focused on the I. We share the spotlight, we share the lead in it.
The group showcased the importance of sisterhood not just among different racial backgrounds, but also different nationalities. And in June of 2013, the group would release their debut single, Vacation, which was described as a happy breakup song. It was released on the Smurfs 2 soundtrack, and was also packaged as a B-side to Britney Spears' single Ooh La La for the film. The video formally introduced the public to each member singing lead vocals, but Simone, Natasha, and Emmeline had the strongest vocal talent in the group, so they would have the most leads. The video would feature Spice Girls member Melanie B, and the song would peak at number 97 on the South Korean international chart. In September of that year, the group would begin a month-long promo tour with Claire's and Westfield malls, meeting fans, visiting radio stations, and performing at different spots.
I'm on vacation tonight. I'm gonna leave you behind. I'm on vacation tonight. I'm gonna lose my mind with someone new.
By February of 2014, the group was in the studio with The Fierceness in preparation for their debut album. They worked with songwriters and producers like Darkchild, Circuit, Max Martin, and the infamous Dr. Luke, who was known to take advantage of his female artists in ways that were highly inappropriate. It was said that GRL had to perform for him and Max on the floor in a small room at a nightclub in LA with his young daughter in attendance, which is strange to say the least. Either way it went, the girls were excited for what all was in store for their album. They recorded around 10 tracks for the project and recorded a song with their label mate Pitbull called Wild Wild Love, and the single would catapult the group to international stardom. It would reach the top 10 in Australia, Belgium, Norway, Scotland, and the UK. In the States, it would sell over 767,000 copies and would peak at number 30 on the Billboard Hot 100 and number 2 on the US Hot Rap Songs. Much of the music video was shot at the Playboy Mansion in Los Angeles, and for the latter half of the visual, he would fly the girls out to his hometown of Miami and take them to many different hidden gems while there. Though when asked, the girls kept it hush-hush as to where all he took them, though parts of the filming, particularly at the Villa Vizcaya mansion, was shown in the video, which premiered on Pitbull's official Facebook page in March of 2014. That same month, the girls performed at the iTunes Festival at SXSW, where they would perform a handful of songs that they had been working on, which included the song Show Me What You Got, which was featured on the Now That's What I Call Music 49 compilation, which I didn't know that they still make those kinds of albums. But hey, a win is a win.
That's the best thing about being in a girl group, because you know that your girls are always gonna have your back, okay?
We ain't gonna let no lying,
No.
cheating ass man
Turn down the function. Cause in GRL Nation,
it's always vacation.
Now there would be a few bumps in the road over the course of April and May, as they would perform at their first award show ever when they opened the iHeartRadio Music Awards, appearing alongside Pitbull. This was a major moment for the girls, but unfortunately Simone would fall ill and miss the performance. Moreover, and for reasons unknown, their album that they had worked hard on had been downgraded to just a 5-track EP and slated for release over the summer, half of which consisted of songs that the fans were already familiar with, Yet and still, the group would forge on with what would become their biggest hit, Ugly Heart, which had been leaked and made available months before its official release in June of 2014. The song had a few songwriters like Esther Dean and was produced by Dr. Luke and Circuit. It's notable for its incorporation of the ukulele, which Simone would bring along whenever the group would perform acoustic versions of the song. The song would go on to reach the top 10 in Australia, Belgium, Ireland, New Zealand, Scotland, Sweden, and would hit number 1 in the Netherlands. It would just miss the US Hot 100, but would appear on the US Adult Top 40 chart at number 32, and was certified platinum in the UK and in New Zealand. Billboard named the song number 50 on the 100 Greatest Girl Group Songs of All Time. The music video was a staple, and Simone would sing most of the leads, and towards the end of the bridge would have the final high note that would tie the song together. Her father said they had practiced that note several times together, trying to get it just right.
Well, it's very eclectic, you know, you got a nice mix of instruments. You got the ukulele, you got a really pulsating, hard-hitting, four-on-the-floor drum. We call it a Hawaiian hoedown. So, and then you have the eclectic blend of our voices, you know, which is really cool. And the message is just about inner beauty and you know, about seeking beauty that's not just on the exterior, you know, that's more than just skin deep.
She would go on to say that the song was her absolute favorite record that the group had recorded. She dedicated it to a popular guy from her high school who played the ultimate prank on her by pretending to like her just to embarrass her later on. She referred to him as the guy with an ugly heart, and she would therapeutically get the last laugh in the video.
Now your face is like your heart. Ugly.
And if that weren't ha ha enough, she would return to the X Factor stage to perform the song with her girls. And yes, it was the ultimate look at me now moment. Their EP would officially be released at the end of July, and all throughout August the group would embark on a promo tour in Australia, where their hit had reached 4 times platinum by this point. She would catch their song being played on the radio.
So pretty, with an ugly heart.
Orlando's #1 hit music station, XL1.
It would seem as though everyone was on top of the world, with so much more to come. However, with more fame came more demands on the back end, and in the coming weeks, Simone noticeably grew a bit distant in interviews. She wasn't speaking as often, and when the other girls were laughing, she appeared to be somewhat zoned out. Fans noted how, going into 2014, she had donned a new look that was much different than the cutesy girl next door image she originally had in the group, which many fans would associate with her embracing more of spirituality for good luck and prosperity reasons. And though some would chalk up her appearing distant in recent interviews to her simply being drained from touring, no one would be prepared for what would come next, as in the early morning hours of September 5th, 2014, her boyfriend would discover her lifeless body hanging in her closet. It was quickly ruled that she had ended her own life. The grief shocked everyone, including her dad, who said that she had texted him every day and showed no signs that anything was wrong. Several people in the industry took to social media to post tributes, including Pitbull and rapper The Game. Simon would refer to Simone as one of his favorite contestants that he's ever mentored. While GRL's Twitter account would make an official statement, her remaining group members would go completely numb as they struggled to process what had happened. They had just been in rehearsals the day before and was gearing up for a show in Las Vegas. Those who knew her were searching for answers, but kept coming up short. It's unknown if there was a note recovered. Many sources said she was stressed out about money woes, as she only had $6 grand to her name at the time, which in 2014 may have seemed like enough to stay afloat, but when you as an artist are covering much of your own costs, the money trickles down pretty quick, as many members from all girl groups associated with the Pussycat Dolls dynasty complained of getting by with only pennies to their name compared to what they were owed. But is that enough reason to end your story on this earth forever? It never seemed plausible to any of the fans, myself included. Simone's mother would claim in court documents that Simone had recently signed some lucrative deals with Sony, Coca-Cola, and other companies, and her estate stood to inherit greatly from the deals. However, her mother had to apply to be appointed administrator of Simone's estate in order to receive anything from those deals. Around this time, rumors started to swirl fan pages and message boards that Simone had unknowingly taken some bad substances earlier in the year that had her ready to end it all, and caused her to be placed on a psychiatric hold. However, I could never find a credible source to validate those claims back then, and even after all these years, many fans are very dissatisfied with what little information is available. To add to the rumor mill, a disrespectful meme also began to circulate alleging that Simone could have been a product of Aaliyah and R. Kelly, and her mom would explain on Instagram that Simone was asked to portray Aaliyah in the upcoming Lifetime movie about the singer's life, although it's unknown if she ever auditioned for the role. But the movie was trash anyway, so I'm glad that Simone didn't have that stain on her legacy. I will say that at 19, I remember being angry with Simone because even though I myself had attempted and survived, I had went through many years of hardship, whereas I felt that Simone was living the life that we both wanted, and how dare she take herself out in the midst of her becoming the megastar she was destined to be. But now, at 28 years old, I realize that we don't know the mental anguish that many of these celebrities face, nor do we know what all is expected of them as performers. If you add a chemical imbalance in the brain on top of all of that, she may have felt guilty for having those thoughts and couldn't face the pain any longer. There would be many celebrities who would go on to admit their feelings of being depressed at the height of their careers. It's really no joke. The remaining members of GRL would muster up just enough strength to attempt to carry on the torch in Simone's honor. After first receiving the blessing from her mother, they insisted that she would never be replaced, and in November of 2014, Dr. Luke would share a snippet of a new tribute song during an interview the girls had been working on for Simone called Lighthouse. And in January of 2015, they would premiere the music video, which was a full homegoing visual for her, which featured a montage of Simone throughout her life and highlighted just how much of a shining star she truly was. They would release the song in association with Give an Hour, which is a foundation that brings attention to mental health awareness. And honestly, Lighthouse is their best song in my opinion. It's definitely a tearjerker, and as someone who's had friends and battle buddies in their lives, the message rings true for me too. The song itself helped me get through similar moments when I had no one else to lean on, and I clung to the words as if the girls were speaking to me personally. So for that, I say thank you to GRL for blessing us fans with this track, and using your pain to show others that they don't have to end the story right where they fell. There are so many more blessings ahead, and you need to be here to receive them. The song was a moderate hit overseas, and did manage to be certified gold in New Zealand. Lauren would comment saying that recording the song without Simone was one of the hardest things the group has ever done. She also said it's a positive message, a positive song, and I think it's going to be great moving forward with the charity that we are going to associate with. We really want to try and fit everything hand in hand. Emmeline added that GRL were taking things slowly, but were focused on the song and the positive message overall about being together in hard times. However, one person who wasn't particularly a fan of this whole rollout was Simone's father, Anthony, who would claim to have had his presence removed from the project. Now, he didn't elaborate beyond this comment right here, so it's unclear if he had a hand in the production of the track itself, only for his contributions to be removed, or if he was referring to the song's music video, which shows many of Simone's relatives, to include all of her immediate family members except her father. So it's possible that he was referring to the visual instead, although no one really knows. GRL would carry on as a quartet and would keep Simone's vocals present in their live performances as a tribute to her, and in many cases they would sing her verse from Ugly Heart together. Although many fans wanted them to press on, other fans felt it was in poor taste and that Simone took the group's spark with her when she transitioned. But ultimately, carrying on would be too much to bear for Emmeline, who would leave the group to go solo, and Paula, who would leave the music industry altogether, never to return no more.
If you ever... Sorry. Thank you, Donna, for being here with us. Sorry.
Light it up, show you the way. I light it up, show you the way.
And told us how much this song has made a positive impact in their lives, and that's helped every time. Woo! That's helped us deal with our emotions.
And what about Simone?
The remaining members, Lauren and Natasha, would take a year hiatus before regrouping and rebranding with a new member, Jazzy Mejia, whose sister was in Girlicious, another group in the franchise. Jazzy would sing periodically, but mostly rapped, kind of adding a TLC spin to the trio where you have 2 singers and 1 rapper. They would release 3 songs under the new lineup, including Are We Good and Kiss Myself. Although the latter would have made for a far better single, they decided to go with Are We Good and shot a music video, but it didn't really gain any traction. The group again maintained that Simone's spirit still lived on, and they kept her vocals whenever they performed live shows with the old songs. Though some fans were happy to have some remnants of the group still active, much of the fan base had checked out by this point, and the new lineup fizzled out as quickly as they began. Although the group has teased reunions with original members over the years, nothing in the way of new music has materialized. All 4 original members would dance alongside Robin Anton in a viral video that the fans adored. Meanwhile, not long after Simone's passing, her mother would start the Simone Battle Foundation, promoting self-awareness for young women in the entertainment industry through advocacy and mentorship programs. She wanted to assist young women in realizing their potential while still holding on to their self-identity, because it can be very easy to lose yourself in the quest for fortune and fame.
Don't feel sorry for me. Only feel sorry for the person who does not hear this message. Feel sorry for those who go by and who are suffering with the 5 signs. Don't feel sorry for me. Feel sorry for those who never hear this message.
Lastly, I wanted to note how eerie it is that a simple scene in a music video between members of different groups would be prophetic for Simone and JR, as they were both born the same year and would both die the same year, as JR, who battled sickle cell anemia his entire life, would suffer a seizure in his sleep and would ultimately go into cardiac arrest while in the hospital, and passed just 3 months before Simone. They both passed on Fridays. Rest in paradise to them both. And for Simone, I hope wherever she is, she knows the impact that she left on this earth, and I marvel at the thought of just what all she would have achieved had she stayed. I know her family misses her very much, and her group members carry her legacy wherever they go and in all that they do. For now, I'll let Simone's vocals serenade us on out.
I'm on the floor. I love to dance, so give me more. Till I can't stand, get on the floor. Like it's your last chance, you want more. Here I am. Starships are meant to fly. Hands up and touch the sky. Let's do this one more time. Hands up. Oh, oh, starships were meant to fly. Hands up and touch the sky. Let's do this one more time. Hands up. Whoa, oh, oh, oh. We're higher than a mother. Won't let nobody shoot us down. Oh, 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 oh. Shine brighter than no other. Don't let nobody shoot you down. were meant to fly. Don't let nobody tell you no lie. And I'm gonna do this one more time, 'cause I was born and you were born to fly.
This is Justified by Jury. Y'all know how to hit that like. Y'all know how to hit that subscribe. If you want to, do so. And I'll catch y'all on the next one.